Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for another World Cup match day preview, and we're down to just the final 8 teams left of this World Cup. He's, of course, Matt, and I'm, of course, Jason. We're going to break down these four quarterfinal matchups. How's it going, Matt?
Going well, exciting, exciting quarterfinal. The Elite Eight it's pretty legitimate. I mean, Spain didn't do enough to get past Morocco. It's just and that's the one team that you could say, oh, Morocco. I think that they've played well this entire tournament, so they're very much deserved to be here. And but yeah, a lot of the big guns, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, it is truly an Elite Eight. Talking about Spain, and maybe we'll get some thoughts here on the round of 16. Kind of piggyback on the Spain right there. They just looked like they just weren't quite direct enough. Not until they brought on like Nico Williams, where they really getting direct. But until then, it was just kind of like just too cute. Maybe looking for the perfect ball or the perfect opportunity to set somebody up in the box. Just not really attacking them, I didn't think. And then they were just punished by really poor penalty kicks, comfortable height. No pace on the ball, exactly kind of like we saw with Japan. Just terrible penalty kicks. So they deserve to go out. Morocco were dangerous on the counter at times in that first half, and they defended well, which is what they've done this entire tournament, only conceding one goal, and that one be an own goal. So some of the other matchups in the round of 16, obviously Brazil gets through relatively easy. Croatia did what they did. They needed extra time and they needed penalties. That's their motto there. Netherlands, Argentina. Obviously, we talked about the Netherlands won past United States earlier this week, but Argentina, France, England, just to your point, the Elite Eight, and we expected them to get through in the full time, and that's exactly what they did. Any more thoughts on the round of 16?
Not really, not really. Just kind of looking upwards and onwards here to this Elite Eight.
Okay, well let's jump into it and let's just take them at order in which they come. We've got two Friday, two Saturday, and it kicks off with Croatia, Brazil. I know which way I lean, Matt, and I think everybody who's watching this broadcast, obviously Brazil was the pre-tournament favorite. I don't think four matches in, anything that Brazil has done is put anybody off of Brazil if they liked Brazil coming into this tournament. So maybe I'll propose this matchup to you in this way: either tell everybody that yes, they're right and Brazil is going to get the job done and they're going to get the job done in 90 minutes, or if you are on side of Croatia, tell the people why you're on the side of Croatia and how can Croatia get it done.
I really am not on a side here at all, just because I don't think there's a lot of value on Brazil. When you have like a Copa, you have like the Comma Ball, for example, like ticket in pocket with Argentina and Brazil. You kind of just in these stages, I think you just kind of ride it out is what's best if you have futures on these teams, because it's really tough to find an angle in this match. I think that Croatia, their best hope and chance is just to be really organized, just be as organized as they possibly can be. I think that they will set up that way. I mean, if you look at some of their matches, uh, you know, only really conceded one goal. They've only conceded one goal that really mattered, I guess you could say. Japan, they did concede to Canada kind of right off the blocks, but like this team is a high IQ team. A lot of their players have played in all of the biggest games. I mean, if you look at pretty much everywhere, you look at Modric, he's won everything that there is to win. Even like going back and like, I'm surprised that Dejan Lovren is playing so well for them in the back. Like he's played in everything. He's got a good center half partnership with Guardiol. Um, and that guy's like probably the defender, the young defender of the tournament that nobody really knows about. He's only 20 years old with the mask on. Um, and then you just, Perisic won and played in every single kind of big match. Like they will have no fear. I can say that this team will not fear Brazil really in the slightest. It's just about, can they stay organized enough to try and grind something out here, and their goal will be to get to penalties. I mean, let's be real, like that is their goal. I don't think that they can win this match in 90 minutes. I don't think but once you get down to the pens, I mean, it's basically 50-50 from there, and whoever's got the clean goes through. And so that'll be their goal. So I would say you're trying to figure out what is going to work. How long will it take Brazil to try to find their way in? I would lean towards an unders match. That's where I would go here. I would go unders. I'll go under the number and bet on that Croatia will be set up in an organized manner and make it tough on Brazil. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
just think, but Brazil will dominate here, and they're clearly the better side.
Boy, I thought you said that well said there, Matt. A couple things to chime in on there. I think under 2.5 could be maybe a theme here in the quarterfinals as teams get later on progressing in this tournament. You kind of heard it through the announcers when they were talking about the Japan match. All the Croatia players who had played the 90 minutes in the group stage and then played an extra 30 minutes, they're going to be a lot more tired than what Brazil is coming into this match. You've got to factor that in. I do believe you mentioned their tactics of sitting back and relying on their good structure, relying on how they've played in these European and World Cup tournaments here in the past, of getting to extra time and getting the penalties. I think that is absolutely it. So when I look at that, Matt, when I think of, okay, how am I going to place the bet? I agree with you how their tactics are. If that's what Croatia is going to do, and certainly think that that's what they're going to do, I think they have no ability to punish Brazil on the counterattack with their attacking options. I think Marquinhos and Thiago Silva can sniff out anything. And if they need to rely on Allison for a stop or two, I think he's more than up to the challenge to stop it. To me, I'm going to come into this bet with a Croatia team total under 0.5. I think I think this is 0-0 extra time, or they lose a 1-0, 2-0. But because Croatia is so sound and they have the the structure and they're used to playing in this setup of defending, I think that could make me a touch nervous of the Brazil win to nil. That I just don't want to go that route, but I will put my money on Croatia to not score a goal at minus 106 is the best price over at FanDuel. So that's the way I'm going to go in. And speaking of prices, I finally did find, we talked about in the last show, you can bet on penalties and all that. You can bet on Barstools who's going to take the opening kickoff. It's minus 112 on both sides. So if you really are a true degenerate and want to flip a coin, there you go, flip that ultimate coin. But in all seriousness, I can't see a way in which Croatia can punish Brazil on the counter when they get a goal. I just love everything about Brazil's attacking 11. Other than maybe Luka Modric, I'm taking every Brazilian player over the Croatian player. So I'm on Croatia under a team total of under 0.5. Again, minus 106 over at FanDuel is the best price. That's going to be an official bet. It looks like we do see this game pretty similar, low scoring. How long can Croatia hold on, and does it get the extra time, or does Brazil sneak out of maybe a 1-0, 2-0 victory?
Yeah, I think just when we have this conversation, I think that's what's so great about this show is just kind of talking it out and finding some reasoning behind your angles. And I think that when I look at this, I think that the best play on the board, the more and more we discuss it, is both teams to score no. Both teams to score no. It is minus 136 at FanDuel. That is the best price. It is minus 155, so 20 cents difference at Barstool, minus 140 at DraftKings. So I would grab that one now. I would expect that one to bump up into the minus 150 range everywhere. It should. I think that it's kind of just lagging behind right now on FanDuel, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, both teams to score no is the best look in this match.
I think that's kind of not a hand in hand, but like if you like an unders, you kind of always like a both teams to score. No, somebody gets that goal and then they just set up, defend, close down the spaces, and frustrate their opponent for the rest of the matches. So yeah, I also like both teams to score. No, I like that angle because maybe Croatia does nick a goal and they hold out for the 1-0 victory. I would be awfully surprised if they can withstand 90 minutes of sustained pressure with a very informed Brazilian squad. They're firing on all cylinders. So that's an angle, or is that a bet for you, Matt, just for the viewing audience?
That's going to be most likely a bet. I think I haven't bet it yet, but I
Okay.
think that like the more and more we talk about that, finding minus 135s, minus 136 is out there. I think that's a gobble up, and you do it now.
I'm curious, what's the? Let me just look. This I would looked up the under before the show. Yeah, under plus 105 for under 2.5 plus 105. I would be a touch nervous with that Brazilian offense. Maybe taking an under. I think the under does cash because I think it's going to take a while for Brazil to break down Croatia just because how organized they are in the back and how their defensive system and structure. So it's going to take a while. So you could certainly see the under 2.5 plus money. That's worth an angle. But yeah, I haven't seen anything from this Croatian attack that makes me think they're going to punish Brazil in the counter. So, all right, give me that team total under under 0.5 at minus 106. Ignore the shirt. I've got about 20 kits in this. This does not mean I'm on Netherlands, folks, but let's transition and talk about Netherlands versus Argentina. This one, Matt, it's going to be so this one's going to be a battle. I kind of lean under 2.5 here. I kind of lean both teams to score no as well. I really think Argentina's advantage is really going to be in the midfield, and then I like Netherlands defense. I like Netherlands attack in terms of maybe keeping it even. That doesn't mean Netherlands has a better attack than what Argentina does, but I think their attacking players can maybe cancel out maybe in Argentina. I think this is really going to be a midfield battle, and look for maybe Louis Van Gaal to maybe put in a tactical plan to maybe frustrate Argentina. I kind of like our Netherlands to advance. This one feels like an unders, maybe an extra time, and then I kind of like Netherlands maybe to advance. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I was talking with my buddy after the match against USA, and you know the Australian versus Argentina match hadn't kicked off yet, but I was saying my buddy thought that like he thought that Argentina were going to be like minus 200 in this match. I was like, no, that's way off. I was like, that's I would put this line at like minus 125, minus 130 Argentina. We're seeing plus 120s now, and like you can find Argentina minus a quarter at minus 115. You might even be able to find it a little bit better, like a flat 110.
Mm-hmm.
I I agree. Like I thought that the Netherlands would be a slightly bigger price here. It looks like the market's all over it. Really, I was hoping to get the Netherlands on side in some way, like a plus three quarters, or I didn't think that I would ever get a plus one really, but something along there. But now, like you're seeing, it's like plus a quarter, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it should be. I thought that USA still created some chances against the Netherlands. I thought that when USA were able to make it frantic at times when they needed to, being down by 2 goals. And I look at Argentina. I think that they're obviously a class above. I think that you're right with the points of. I think that Louis Van Gaal, I he can set up tactically to frustrate Argentina. I think that this is an unders kind of game. But so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to decipher which way I really want to go here. I don't have an official bet yet. I am surprised though. I'm really surprised that Argentina are plus 120 here. I would think that they would be closer to even money or odds on, but they do struggle at times to break down deep defenses, like everyone does.
Right.
And so Netherlands are going to set up beautifully here. They're going to be in a back five. Van Gaal, he knows how to play a negative formation. That is for damn sure.
Yes.
But I just don't see them like how Netherlands caused USA a ton of problems on the counter. I don't see that happening here. I think that Argentina will snuff out most of those counter attacks, and they will dominate the ball here and dominate possession. And again, it's another match I think where it's not a matter of if for Argentina, it's a matter of when. When does the goal happen? It probably takes a little bit of time. Um, Virgil, a lot of these Netherlands players, they definitely won't fear Argentina in the slightest. I mean, that's for sure. A big 6'8" goalie in between the sticks to make things difficult are on the Argentines as well. Um, but I think when it push comes to shove, like after 50 minutes of trying to break down the side, I think that Argentina will make the breakthrough. And I'm not sure that I can trust Netherlands to do the same. I guess if Argentina have to sit back, even though I have to say Australia were causing a lot of problems,
Mm-hmm.
didn't they? I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
put Argentina on upset alert for
Yes.
15 that match. So who's to say that the Netherlands can't do it either? So I think that the draw is a big runner here. I think it's a big price. I think that even the draw in the first match that we talked about, Croatia Brazil, has some value in it at plus 400. You can even find some bigger prices, I think, out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is low scoring most likely, Jason. I would say. The under 2.5 is shaded correctly at minus 175.
Yeah, you could almost talk me into a lot of draws in these four games, and then, like I said, the unders as well. Of the four games, this is the biggest price on the under. You mentioned minus 175. The other ones, we got the plus, and then the other two games are minus 130, minus 140, around that range. This is the one that people do feel an under, and I kind of agree. It'll take a long time for a goal to come. And I got an official bet for this game, though. I want to back the Netherlands. I'm not. That's not a bet that I'm willing to give out, though. But I'm willing to give out Virgil van Dijk to have a shot. We learned also from Cashy and Rudiger earlier in this tournament that blocked shots do count as shots. Look, Australia got a goal. We saw what Harry Suter did. We cashed the plus 260. This one's at plus 150 over at PointsBet, but they know that they need to be clinical on these set pieces, free kicks, and corners, and nobody better to pick out than Virgil for the Netherlands. So him at plus 150 just to have a shot. Right now, that's my one and only official bet from this game. We'll see if I pull the trigger on an under or, maybe backing Netherlands. But it feels like if you back Netherlands and then when you get burned, it's like, yeah, of course Argentina won 1-0 or 2-0. I don't know if I want to do that, but I really think Virgil's going to get a shot. So that's the bet I'm willing to go with, him at plus 150 over at PointsBet to get a shot.
I love it. I love it just because I think that aerially, the Argentines do lack a few things. Like Otamendi's okay in the air, but I mean nobody's really better in the air than Virgil van Dijk.
Yep.
So that's a great look. I know that we talked about that one a little bit. I totally agree with you. I look at this match too as well as like I think it's a both teams to score no as well. It's just. Minus 130 on a BTTS. No, because the reasoning behind it is I see zeros for quite some time here.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the halftime draw is probably a fair look.
Yep.
Minus 104, you might be able to find it a little bit better.
Here's
you
the
could do it.
Sorry.
0-0. You could do a 0-0 exacta. That's plus 138. Those all appeal to me.
I was going to say the first half draws appeal to me because you can look at this Croatia side. We already talked about how they're going to set up. Netherlands, maybe somewhere similar. Argentina dominates the ball. They don't want to expose themselves in the first half. It's just get to the second half and get to a 0-0 score and then give yourself a chance to manifest the goal however the hell you can manifest it. I think a lot of these first half 0-0s come into play. Nobody wants to expose themselves. Nobody wants to be out of it at halftime. You want to be in it come second half, and 0-0 is obviously means you're fully in it. So I like it in the Croatia-Brazil, and I like it Netherlands-Argentina, expecting Croatia-Netherlands to kind of set up how we've talked about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they put Messi here too. I love when he's like in that number 9, false 9 role. Like everybody just tries to feed balls on the ground into him, and he is so good with his turning left or right, doesn't matter. Picks out a pass. The one thing we'll be rooting on here is our boy Lautaro Martinez. Hopefully he can get in this match. At some point.
It's gonna be late. We know he's been passed on the pecking order, unfortunately.
I can absolutely see overtime here. So, and if there were overtime, he would be in that match and he would get 40 plus minutes probably. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams set up. I think that the price on Netherlands has been like so far like nuked basically, where I think there's actually a slight amount of value on Argentina here. I do, but not really enough not enough to hammer by any means. It'd be like a smaller bet. I think Argentina minus a quarter at minus 110. If you can find it at minus 110, that makes a ton of sense to me because if you put $100 on it and it ends up in a draw, this thing goes into overtime, like all right, you lost $50. That's okay. That's not as bad as losing your full stake.
Yeah, exactly. For those curious what that first half draw is, that Croatia's around plus 135. This one's minus 120. I mean, the books are expecting it kind of like Matt and I are talking about. Probably going to be 0-0 at halftime. And then just get yourself again to that second half. Give yourself a chance to pull out a victory and upset Argentina. It would be an upset if Netherlands were to go ahead and pull it off.
Let's see. What is the 0-0 in Croatia Brazil? Because that's the only way I see it happening as well. So like if you like it,
plus 210.
You want to get greedy with it. So like you want to go 0-0 there plus 210. You go 0-0 in Argentina Netherlands plus 138. I mean that's one of them probably comes in.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely. One of them does. And again, guys, we're not price shopping. We have on our official bets we've given out, but these ones we're just kind of spitballing here in terms of giving you guys a price. But that's generally the ballpark. Yeah, I would do that as well. These games aren't going to go 1-1 or 2-2. So, yeah, if you like to draw, dabble for sure in the 0-0 market, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and flip on over to these two Saturday matches. Let's take the first one. It's Morocco and Portugal. The only Cinderella left, I guess, in this tournament would be Morocco. Again, we've talked about them. Only conceded one goal via the own goal. They've actually gone 8 games in their last 8. They've only conceded one goal in their last 8. Obviously, that is the own goal that we talk about here in this current World Cup. This game, they've been really sound defensive. They've been dangerous in attack. This one, I want to sprinkle on the Morocco to advance. I watched the Switzerland game. We all saw what Portugal was able to do against the Switzerland. But Morocco's different. I mean, again, only giving up one goal, and it's via the own goal. They're going to absolutely frustrate Portugal for a long time. This one's definitely the full-time draw for me, but I just feel like at plus 280 for Morocco to advance, it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle.
I don't disagree with you because I think that, what really sucked with my Switzerland bet, that I gave out on the show last time, that sucked. And I definitely sorry for giving out that one because it wasn't anywhere close, but it was like, I was hoping for Cristiano Ronaldo to start like he did in all 3 of the group stage matches. And right when I see Ronaldo not starting, I'm like, fuck,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like you have that feeling like you want Ronaldo to be in there. So because it's a better bet if you're holding a Switzerland ticket. But when they go with the young flashy forward from Benfica, and look at what he did. Like he is a baller. He almost got some moves in the summertime to PSG. He is definitely getting the move probably in January or next summer. That was some of the best plays of the tournament. He was 125-1 to score a hat trick. I would have had just even a tenner on that. Would have been nice. But right. In this one, I don't see. I think that the reason that Switzerland were just demolished is because they thought that they could play. They thought they could play with Portugal. You know what I mean? They thought that they could keep some possession. And they just got blasted on the counter. And that is going to be the exact opposite of this match.
Yep.
Morocco have a clear-cut identity. They know exactly what they want to do. They're going to set up just the way that they did against Spain. Mm-hmm. They're going to say the exact same. They're going to go with the exact same mentality. And to be fair, I think that Morocco had the clear-cut opportunities when you stack up the entire 120 minutes.
Yeah.
There was a couple decent ones for Spain late, but I think that some of the counter ability, like they were
way better in the first half in terms of their chances.
Oh yeah, their chances were better, and even in the overtime, they had a couple that were causing problems on the break, and it'll be interesting to see. Like I would definitely be waiting to see like if Roman Saiz gets to make it here. Like need to check in on his hamstring because he went down. It looked like it was a pulled hammy, but maybe it was just a cramp. They wrapped it real tight. But we know him from Wolves. He's a fantastic defender he's a left footer. He's very versatile. He's a good passer out of there. You're going to need that. You need those good passers out of the back line to break the stress that you're going to have. Because, I mean, let's face it, Morocco are going to be under a ton of pressure and stress here in this game. Portugal will see what Spain did wrong with just so much tiki-taka and no cutting edge, and they will try different things. Portugal they're more athletic. Bruno Fernandes is in great form right now. They've got better headers of the ball on corners and set pieces and stuff. So I do think that Portugal will see the Spain blueprint and say, look, they really messed this one up. We're not gonna do that. But I will say that Morocco's deep lying defense is it's a tough nut to crack. So who's to say that they can't hang in here?
This is the under 2.5 that I'm probably going to really end up betting. It's minus 136 is the best price over on FanDuel. I don't know if I can come off of that under 2.5. That looks really stinking good. Again, you mentioned how Morocco's going to set up. Well, they're battle tested. They just did this for 120 minutes up against Spain, so they know exactly how to do it. They'll be ready to do it. They'll be ready to execute the orders. This one feels like an unders, and again, it feels like a draw. I feel like I want to put a sprinkle on that plus 280 for them to advance. You get that Cinderella story, and sometimes that is just enough to go ahead and propel you. You know, the home crowd will certainly be on Morocco as well. Ronaldo's also not going to start. He had the little fallout there with the manager. Ramos comes in, bags a hat trick, and then I'm sure you probably saw by now, Matt, when the players went to the into the stadium to celebrate with the supporters. Ronaldo was down the tunnel. They did a wide shot, and he's down the tunnel. I mean, it's always all about him, and he's already on the bad side of the manager. He's not starting this game. He'll get another cameo just like he did against Switzerland, especially obviously if it goes in extra time. So this one, if I'm gonna bet it, I'm leaning unders and Morocco to advance at plus 280 is the best price for them to keep going. Just been impressed with their defense. Again, one goal is all they've been able to concede, and that was off their own boot against Canada.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look again and let's see what we got here on a 0-0 first half because
Yeah, right.
I look at both teams to score no, and I think that all of them right now thus far have been shaded correctly. I mean, minus 150. This market is so efficient. So we know that like you kind of have to trust it sometimes. Plus 150 here on a 0-0 at first half. I hope that none of like that's the thing is like I want to bet all these. I think that this is the right angle,
Mm-hmm.
but my gosh, I'm gonna be watching these matches at a bar and hoping for some freaking Delazos as well. So it's like sucks, but um,
Well, remember when we were previewing back in the group stage, and there was 32 matches, and 17 of the first 32 had been 0-0 at halftime. So I think we do have the right angle. But yeah, as a fan, do you want to sit there and root for? Hey, maybe that's how you hedge your emotions, right? Not that you want to do that, but you know what I mean. You want goals, and when it's a snooze fest, it's like cool. I just cashed a 210, a plus 155, and
yeah, so I think that both teams to score no's makes a ton of sense. I think that all three 0-0s at their plus prices make a ton of sense. If you even go 1 and 2 there, you lose 0.6 basically of a unit at worst, or you even make some money still too, if it was like the plus 220 came in, for example. So yeah, that's the angle. I think those three, I guess you could say, but getting into the fourth one, I'm not so sure.
The only thing that upsets me about that is that Japan Croatia game. I cashed the 2-unit play on Japan double chance. And on Twitter, I gave out 4 leans. 3 of the 4 cashed. The one that didn't was 0-0 in the first half. I had unders. Sometimes it's like your under can maybe be the best play because you hate a first half goal to ruin the under 2.5. The under 2.5 cashed relatively easy in Japan Croatia. So, but I think you're right. If you just flat bet them all. 2-ish you're going to hit, maybe even 3-ish you're going to hit. I mean, we haven't even talked about France and England yet, and that's going to be a game where all these games, again, you don't want to put yourself out of it. You have a chance to make a semifinal of the World Cup. You don't want to put yourself out of it. In the second half, you want to be there with an opportunity to still get the win, and that's how these managers set up. We talk about it. Remember Liverpool, Real Madrid? Oh, it's going to be a great cacker in the Champions League. No, they don't. They want to all get to the second half for a chance to win. That Champions League final was a snooze fest.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely shop around for some of these. I think that's what I'm going to do after we hop off this show, and I'm going to bet them because I'm not going to even be in a legal state here. I'm getting ready to go to L.A. and they haven't. They're behind the times, Jason. They haven't.
Right.
They haven't legalized it yet. So I've got to get these in before I go. At least a few of them. I know that I've got a couple offshore accounts I can bet through, but I want to get these ones in. I want to line shop them all. I mean, I don't think that this one's the 0-0, in England, France, but I mean, it very well could be. It's priced as the others.
It's priced right.
I hope that this match, yeah. I hope that this match has fireworks. I'm so excited for this one.
Of the 3 that we've talked about so far, I trust Croatia just because that's what they do, and this is a common situation for them to be in. So I like that one at plus 210. The second one I would trust more is this Morocco team that again just doesn't concede. I trust that one probably second, and then the Netherlands Argentina was probably the one of the 3. Again, I would probably trust least of the 3 that we've discussed.
I freaking like them all. I might parlay them.
You know what? I think another great parlay we like under 2.5. Those people that like, okay, well, if I'm making a parlay, I'll bump it up to 3.5. I bet a parlay of under 3.5 is just straight money in these first 3 games.
Another one would be like getting under 1 in each match first half in a parlay.
Oh, you're under one. Yeah, you're Asian.
Under
Let's see what.
your parlay still continues on if one of them does end up coming in, but they don't score a second. Obviously, you get, but then your parlay still rolls on.
Let me see what that Asian. Oh, you can't get
You
this.
got you got to find all the Asian stuff.
I know it's this. So yeah,
But
under
I
one, even minus 220 in Netherlands, Argentina, and then minus 160. And the books are telling you the stuff's gonna be low scoring, folks. And it's
yeah
when you break it down, it's like of course I can totally see it. Okay, all right. Well, you want fireworks in France and England? Let's just jump to it.
yeah yeah.
I'm not sure you're gonna get fireworks. We know all the players. I mean, we know all the players and all the teams, but we certainly know all these players being Premier League guys that we are. I just feel like this game gonna come down to you're only gonna get a couple of good chances, and not to say like who's gonna be the most clinical because that's kind of what it always gets at, but who is literally gonna convert the couple good chances that they're gonna look at. I think shots on target is gonna be at a premium in this one. Two good defenses. Stones and Maguire make me more nervous if I'm going to look at the defensive pairing as opposed to what is going to be probably Varane. I guess it could be Kanate or
Yeah.
with the gentleman with the U.
Yeah.
Stones and Maguire may be a touch more nervous, but another game. It's kind of like this similar three. I do like England to advance though. Not the Premier League homer me, but I just something. It's hard to repeat. Not that this is the final, obviously for France, but it just feels like maybe it could be the Three Lions moment here.
I feel like it is too. I really do. I think that when you stack up these 11s, look, basically, this is my reasoning. I think that this game should be pick. I think this game should be a pick 'em.
Oh, it's tough to pick a
It's
winner.
it's not a pick 'em though, and so there is value I think on England. Just as simple as that. I think that yes, um, France have the two wingers that are probably some of the they're the best players in this match. I guess you could say they're the most dynamic. They will cause the most problems. You hate to see Ousmane Dembele matched up against Luke Shaw. I think that that's a nightmare. I think that Gareth Southgate will have something ready though for them. I wouldn't be surprised to see England go back five to help. Like I can see Kyle Walker and Trippier being on the right to really try and reduce what Mbappe can do. You know what I mean? Like I think that would be a great move. You have the pace of Kyle Walker to combat Kylian Mbappe as a helper, not as a one-on-one defender, as a helper to Trippier. Trippier does the grunt work on the outside, and then when he cuts in, it's on Walker. And I think that they'll do the same thing for Luke Shaw. They'll help Luke Shaw out. Who will be over there? Will it be Maguire or will it be Stones? That'll be
Could be
interesting.
both
But
of them. Yeah. I think you've got to
I,
put Maguire just because of the familiarity. If you're going to do that, you got to put Maguire over there, because obviously
I,
both United players.
if they go back five, which that's what I think, I want to like maybe dive into some like journalists, like some of their articles and stuff, what they expect to happen here formation wise. But that again, then I think if they go back five, that tends to lean itself into a first half stalemate, 0-0,
Yeah.
under one, like all of those things. I do think that like this match has like all of the makings of fireworks, but the fireworks might not happen in the first 45 because both of these managers are their sphincters are all tightened up and they don't want to lose in the first 45 like you've mentioned. No one wants to get blown out of this.
Yeah.
So they'll have an idea on how to combat. Like I don't think that anyone will really worry about Giroud that much. His movement is damn good though. If you've ever seen like
Yes.
I've even seen Virgil van Dijk comment before on somebody asked him who was one of the tougher like strikers he goes up against, and I was shocked when he said Olivier Giroud. So
Hmm.
his movement is pretty world class. If he does touch it in the box, he's generally pretty clinical with it. But I think the midfield battle is England's. I really do. I think that the midfield is England.
I would agree with that.
And England
I love
great,
Bellingham and
have a
Henderson.
great. Yeah, I think that it needs to be Jude,
Oh
Henderson,
yeah.
and it's got to be because it has that mix of youth and experience in big matches. That is the reason Jordan Henderson must be in this match. It's another reason I'll wait to bet this because I don't know exactly if they go back five though, Jason. Then they might have to tweak what's going on in the middle.
Hmm.
And so I've got to see some lineups here. Like I really want it to be Rice, Jude, and Henderson, but um, maybe they go with like Kyle Walker on the right too as a right back to try to just go head to head with Mbappe, which isn't the worst move. But yeah, Henderson, and I think that he's very key. He's a key cog in this middle for them, and he's the guy that he's played in all the big matches. Rice hasn't played in any of these.
Hmm.
Even Jude Bellingham hasn't played in any of these. They have not played in the big boys, and Kane has. Foden, he has for the most part, but nobody's won them. The only
Hmm.
one that's won anything in this entire England squad is a guy that sits on the bench, who's the best passer on the team, and then Jordan Henderson. He's the only one that's won anything, and so like I need to have some of that. I don't think that he's like the greatest midfielder in the world, but I think that he is a guy that just knows how to get the job done.
Yeah, while you were talking, you've kind of hit on my leans that may become a bet. I think they will struggle with the pace of France's attack. I'm looking at Shaw and then whether it's Walker or Trippier to get a card. They're going to have to bring them down to prevent a counter. And obviously, tactical fouls are generally yellow cards, and those guys are going to get a yellow card. You can get Trippier at plus 650. You can get Shaw at plus 275. If you bet them at sports books like Barstool's Bet Rivers, if they don't start, okay, they void your bet, so you can no real concern to pre-match them. If you bet them at DraftKings, you're in a little bit of a pickle because they don't care if the player starts or not. But I think you could flat bet those three of Shaw, Trippier, Walker, and one of them is getting a card as they bring down the pace in which France will look to hit them. Once they are able to get a turnover by England, and then look to hit them on the break. Just a tactical foul, and they'll get a card.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think that cards is an interesting look in this match, for sure. Look,
Who's
the
the ref?
cards have reset. They've reset now. So um,
Have they reset? I thought they said during one of these games I watched the other day that just two cards throughout the whole tournament and you missed the next match. I don't think they reset. What game was that? Was that the Croatia? Oh man, we got to you got to check on that, Matt. If
yeah,
I'm
that's,
pretty sure there
that's
which now
bullshit.
I don't know which announcer was because I don't remember which game it was.
Yeah, you're right. I think it looks like it's just two.
I think it's just straight two and you miss the game and there is no reset
Oh,
throughout this entire tournament. I'm looking at the ref. Wow, nobody's gonna know this ref. Oh, they don't have a ref. Oh, that was the name of the stadium. I was like, wait, yeah, okay. So no ref has been assigned, or at least the website that I rely on doesn't tell me
yeah.
ref.
Let's do a little digging here because I think this is going to be feisty as hell. And now that when you start talking about the counter and all that stuff, England will have the majority of the possession because I touched on who's got the better midfield. England. England will control possession here, but they're going to be super cautious in possession because they don't want to get ripped on the break.
Right. When they,
So
yeah,
this one again, honestly, it just sets up for a fucking boring first half, Jason.
I'm flat betting these 0-0s in all four games. I
I
already know
am
I'm
too.
gonna do it.
I am too. I'm gonna flat bet every single one 0-0. I'm doing it. And that's what I think that's really come away, the most. It's just that touch of value, and it's better than taking the first half draw because I don't think that the other team will like immediately concede. So let's see here. Who has picked up some yellows? They had nothing against USA. I think that England are very like non. They don't have many. Look at this. No yellow cards for England against Iran. No yellow cards for England against USA. No yellow cards for England at all in the group stage.
Wow, what they do against Senegal?
Bro, they haven't had a yellow card yet.
They didn't get one. Oh, they're gonna come out then. They
They
have
have
to stop the pace of
no yellow cards.
Dembele and
This
Mbappe.
is a perfect time. This is the time to get on cards. There is no doubt this is the match. This is the knockout. Like this, they know too that this is the tougher match. If whoever wins this has an
Oh,
easier match in the next round, okay? So everything is going to be chips in here, got to go for it. And there will be some tactical fouls, Jason, just like you mentioned. They will get caught out on the break, and somebody's going to tug Mbappe back. Somebody's going to
mm-hmm.
tug Dembele back. Boop, boop, boop. Yellow card. So that is maybe a decent way in here. Like, are cards even out yet? Let me look.
I can see I can't Barstools, which is if I bet these cards, I'm going to do it at Barstools because again, if the player doesn't start, it gets voided. They have Walker, they have Shaw, they don't have Trippier. I
It's
think
a
they got
card.
to play Walker to deal with the pace of Mbappe. They'd be. I think they're in trouble. I think if they bet Trippier, that could be like a 3 unit bet because he ain't the pace of Kyle Walker. um,
Yeah.
they have to do Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw, which then I'll bet on Luke Shaw because he's always United a good tactical foul, and he can't
Uh,
really deal with Bailey.
I think somebody like Jordan Henderson at 4-1 to pick up a yellow card is appealing. I think that he'll know exactly what he's doing on a foul like that.
He's 7-1 on Barstools. What did you say?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just checking markets right now. So yeah,
Wow.
he's 4-1 at DraftKings. So yeah, definitely bet that one at Barca.
This is why
seven
you
to
got a
one.
price shop 7-1 on Barstools, 4-1 on DraftKings. Jesus.
That's just amazing on some of these alternative markets, like how off they are on prices and stuff. It's like that makes no sense, but um, you would want to probably wait to make sure that he's starting there, and then you would immediately grab it like before it moved.
Yeah,
So you
if
would
it's
want to
DraftKings for
have
sure.
yours ready. Um, like no, I'm saying if Henderson starts, you would log on to Barstool and you would immediately place at 7-1. I think that that's a lot of value there. Um, but I'm just, what thing I think I'm going to get into is I'm going to be on like a England team total cards over 1.5 type thing,
Mm-hmm.
like over 2.5, whatever. They're probably going to set it pretty low. And I think that it could be the time. They have had 0 yellow cards in this tournament. There is definitely an English player is definitely getting booked in this one. This is a rivalry too. These guys don't like it. These countries hate each other. One, but I mean the players like one another, I'm sure, but still, like, I mean, come on, man. This is
Minus,
setting up for some tactical fouls.
minus 115 for 2 cards for England. That's how I'm coming. I'm going to flat bet all these 0-0s. I've given out a couple bets. And for this one, I am on the cards. I thank you for bringing up that point because I had totally forgot it. This is not the final, but they get the Morocco-Portugal winner. And Matt said it right. This, not the final, but both of these teams are going to love their chances against Morocco or Portugal.
Okay, so here it is. Yeah, matching team cards minus 115 on England.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'll
I love it, man. I love it. I think over 1.5 yellows for that's one's gonna be official.
I
I'm
wish,
gonna
I wish they already. Maybe this. Maybe I'll look up another quick. We got a few minutes. Any ref assignments? Maybe this website just doesn't quite have it.
yeah. I think that this one is one to like. I think that the only way that this goes is up. So ref whatever. Like I don't even care who the ref is. Like
I
over
know.
one and a half.
There's gonna be because there's gonna be tacticals dealing with that pace of France. Their attacking users are so fast.
I think that there's going to be a lot of breakup in play. I like 0-0 here. I like some cards. So yeah. I love it. I freaking love it.
All right. Okay. I've dropped in a couple official bets there in the chat. It's only a matter of time. Probably maybe just do it on tomorrow's YouTube show. But I'm gonna flat bet all these 0-0s. Um, Probably maybe do under 2.5 in Morocco, Portugal. Maybe sprinkle the Morocco to advance for a half unit at plus 280. And then this card angle for England, France. That's what I wanted to talk about on the show for the best way to, besides a draw and an under and blah, blah, blah. I think the cards is the next best way in for that match.
Yeah, I
Having to deal
like
with their pace.
love those looks. I love an under one first half parlay. That's it's
Yeah.
gonna be that's some fun money to have. I think under one
So when
first
there's
half.
one goal, that one leg pushes, I see.
Yeah, which is fine in a four legger. Like
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
fine.
All right, you got me curious, guys. Just to, I'm going to look this up, and then we'll let you guys go here shortly. Just to let you guys know the schedule here for the remaining World Cup. The semifinals are Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So we're going to join you guys Monday, Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Monday, Tuesday next week. Obviously, Monday we preview Tuesday, and Tuesday we'll obviously preview Wednesday. And then we will be with you guys on the final. All right, an under one parlay is 7-1. And to your point, let's take a leg out. Let's take out the best leg. So let's say we get the 3 worst. Let's say Brazil Croatia pushes, so you lose your one at even money, and the other 3 now it's 3-1. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that that's fine. And then
That's
if you
fine.
want to also be like super safe, like it could be even an under 1.5 on all of them too.
Okay.
I mean that's fine. Like that's okay. I
They
mean,
won't even give that to you.
that's
Netherlands, Argentina.
I like 0-0 in every single freaking one. So,
I,
um,
I,
the only one would be, can you trust a Dejan Lovren in the back for 45 minutes? You need it. I'm
Hey,
not
but at
sure.
2-1, I'm willing to do it because that's what Croatia does. They're in those situations all the time. So at 2-1, I'm willing to trust it. That's their
Yeah, they're going to have
familiarity.
11 men behind the ball, and they are going to set up.
Oh, sorry, I
They're going to
put
set
this
up
kind
just
of.
like Morocco's going to set up, man. Croatia and Morocco have the same goal. It is to get to pens. England, France, they don't have that goal. Um, but Morocco and Croatia have the same exact goal. I mean, even the
That's right.
Netherlands have
They do. They do. Louis Van Gaal is going to be weary or very nervous of Messi, and he's going to set up. It's going to be get to the second half. I'm flat betting these. Those will be given out tomorrow on YouTube.
Let me know on some line shopping things because, like, if we find, I want the best on everything. But I'm about to look, so I'll text you here in a little bit.
All right, guys, that's going to do it here for the quarterfinal. Again, these two matches are Friday, Saturday. For that Netherlands Argentina, I'm going to be hanging out on YouTube live. Matt mentioned he's going to be headed out on the West Coast, but I'll be hanging out with you guys live on YouTube. It's at 1 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. Netherlands Argentina. Come hang out with me on this YouTube channel. As for more previews, again, there will be Monday, Tuesday of next week. 4 p.m. Good luck with your bets. Tail these winners that we've been giving you. Make sure you're following us both on Twitter. Matt will drop some bets, and I'll drop some more of these bets, of course, as well. More of the ones we've kind of just been talking about. But enjoy this. I say enjoy it, but based on what we've talked about, it may not be the most enjoyable football you've ever watched, but it's still a lot of elite nations, so it'll still be fun to watch. So, all right, Matt, enjoy these games, and look forward to getting you back in here on Monday. We'll set the table for semifinals.
Yep, this is knockout football, and come on, Lautaro Martinez.
All right, see ya.